Hello and welcome to what's happening in John's shed. Sorry we've had a bit of a break from proceedings. I've had lots of projects on and yeah, this is the first time I've had a chance to get back out here. I've now got my regulator rectifier, which I've been waiting for because I ordered the wrong one originally. As you can see from this, there's 3 inputs which I've put spade connectors on, and there's a positive output and a earth output. So on this particular one it doesn't need to be earth, it's earth through that cable. So when I mount it, it doesn't have to be earth. It will be, because I'm going to use this attachment point here to be the central earthing post for all the electrics pretty well in the centre of the bike. So as you can see, that'll sit nicely in that recess there, and then my 3 outputs can go around out of the way. These can go through the hole in the top of the battery box. I've got my battery supply and my earth, they can go through there. There's a couple of little connections up to the headlight to connect also. These 3 wires here are the 3 wires from the generator. So I've got 3 going in to here, so it should have a really good output. That's why I've got a regulator and a rectifier, so I don't boil the battery or anything ridiculous. So they're the 3 wires from the alternator. That one is the output from the regulator, and that one is a central earth that comes from the headlight. So that's straightforward enough. That'll be nice and tidy when I've done. Over here, these are the wires that come out of the generator. It runs from the generators here. 3 wires come out of there. These all need pushing together because I've put soldered bullet joints on. And this comes up through that cable as well, and that's to the contact breakers. So from this wire, from the contact breakers, this will go to the negative side of the ignition coil, because I'm doing it negative earth, 12 volt negative earth. This wire here is the power supply from the ignition switch, which will go to the positive side of the ignition coil. So that'll be the supply to the coil. This one spurs off, it runs forward to supply the horn power supply, and it then returns through, and there's a wire that returns through the brake light switch, which is located down here, and that's all mounted and wired up now. So that's its power supply to the brake light switch. I've run it all through with a battery on it, and it all seems to operate nicely. So those 2 will go to, as I say, the coil. They'll be tidied up and go down and stay down there out of the way to the brake light switch. So that tidies all that nicely up. So the only piece of wiring that you will see when it's all in is the short piece that goes from under the tank into the cowling, because I like it nice and tidy. I don't like wires dragging everywhere. Yeah, so that's the horn supply. Now the horn supply sounds quite cheerful because it's a 6 volt horn, and it's now getting 12 volt through it, so it sort of woke it up a bit, and it sounds like a strangled rabbit. So I might have to buy an aftermarket 12 volt one, and I said, yeah, I will see how that goes. So as far as the electrics go, that's pretty straightforward now. Altered a couple of things in the headlight, because instead of having switch coils for the headlight and normal electrics, I've now got a constant supply from the battery to the headlight switch. So when you switch the ignition on, you get obviously a supply to your ignition coil, a live feed, so the engine doesn't need to be running, and it's got a live feed. That's why they're always good starters when they're like that, because obviously if you kick it and it's got a generator spot as you kick it, obviously you've got to kick it fast enough to give it a good spot. But with a battery, it's there instantly. That's my theory anyway, and I like it. It works for me. So once that's done, we can then put some oil in it, which is quite good. And I've kicked it over a few times with the plugs out. Everything works, everything turns over. I've done the valve clearances before I put the engine in. So we can put some oil in the gearbox, oil in the engine. I'll check the bevel box. I think that's got oil in, but I'd like to check anyway. We'll get that all done. And what I'll do is then I'll do a little video on the carbs, because the carbs, I was told when I bought it, they were all stripped and cleaned, but I like to have a look in there myself and just check the float heights and things. So what I'll do another video prior to fitting the two carbs. I've got original ones for this. My other Valiant, the carbs were in a poor state and I just couldn't get them to run properly. So I gave up because I was desperate to get it going. I put a couple of aftermarket cheap ones on and air filters, and after messing about with the carburation on the jet inside, I've got them. It runs lovely now. So I'm going to try and get the AML carbs on. As I say, I'll do a video of that. And then what we can do then is do the first fire up. I think I'll start it without the exhausts on. I've got faith in the engine being okay, but it's a lot of faff. I might just for initial fire up, I think I'll do it with the exhausts off. A bit more dramatic as well, isn't it? So yeah, that's my quick video on the electrics. I did think about going into the headlight and showing you what I've altered in there, but it's not very good to film in because it's a black hole and it's just easier just to tell you rather than show you. I have done a modified wiring diagram for the modifications I've done. A couple of people have asked me if they can see the wiring diagram in the future. Once I've brought it up to date, I've done it exactly the same as I've done the other Valiant. The only difference is that on the other Valiant, it's because it's a Miller generator. There's only two outputs to the rectifier regulator, but apart from that, it's exactly the same. This has got a third one because this is a Lucas gen. Sorry, I've worked the wrong way around, haven't I? So yeah. Anyway, that's got two, and this has got three, because I'm now running the ignition side straight from the battery. So we'll go from there and we'll catch up. If anybody's got any more questions about what I'm rambling on about, please ask me. I'm going to do another little video on another little project I'm doing. I hate to say the word, but Chinese motorbike. Anyway, I've been doing a couple of little jobs on that, which is different. So, as I say, please subscribe and like, and we'll see you again soon with the carburetors. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.